So if this is not inviting, I don't know what is. This is my perfect invitation to visit the Buffalo Botanical Gardens. Okay, so I had to do a voiceover because we had some people mowing in the back and the wind was kind of strong, so you really couldn't hear. But first of all, my husband and I made a very good deal. There was a car show in town, and so we decided to separate. He dropped me off at the Botanical Gardens, and he went to the car show, which is great. I was not feeling rushed, and I could look at all the beauty that the Buffalo Botanical Gardens had to offer. This is what drew me in. These are, I think, sun patience and some type of petunia, but these were like that orange color, and they're mass planted, and they are just so beautiful. It was so welcoming to me. At this point, I had no clue of what they had inside, but just this walkway right here, I have got to step my gardening game up. Now, I know it takes a team to make this happen because a lot of the signs said that the grounds were maintained by a bunch of volunteers, but just look at the beauty and look at the color and look at the variety of plants. I definitely have to get this hydrangea somewhere in my garden soon. So as we're going up the walkway, just look at the variety of plants. And within the few hours that I was there, I learned a valuable garden lesson for myself and my gardening goals is that I need to do a little bit more mass planting, because to me, that's what made this garden so beautiful. Look at the bee balm here. They have different colors, but they're mass planted, and it was just so beautiful. I'm telling y'all, I have so many ideas just from visiting this botanical gardens for about 2.5 hours. So here's a quick look from the outside as you're walking up. Okay, so when you first walk in, everything is separated by houses. This is house 1, and you get a map and it tells you about the way they're broken up, but something smelled really good in here. I'm not sure which plant it was, and so I'm just panning up here to let you see how tall these glasses were. And so I'm just walking around, and they have the different types of plants labeled, and they also tell you what family that they're in. And so it was just so many different species throughout the whole botanical garden. So we're just panning around here and just letting you see the beauty. Very nice, soft music, inviting, and also beautiful water features. Okay, so within the same house number 1, here is the Ponderosa lemon tree. But what I'm about to do now is I am about to go up with the camera, and I'm panning up because this hibiscus tree is really tall to me. I don't know if it conveys that on this screen, but this is a tall hibiscus, and we definitely grow those here. And then here is the coffee plant that they have. I don't think it was in bloom then, but this was the chocolate tree. Like I say, I'm not sure where the smell was coming from, and they also give you great information about some of the plants that they have in here. So here is house number 2 that we're walking into, and you're greeted by this beautiful fountain. I thought this was so odd and so amazing. I love water features. Just the sounds of it to me is very relaxing, but this was definitely an odd one. But it was really beautiful at the same time. And so right here we have some variegated ginger. That's one of my gardening goals, is to grow ginger next year, and actually turmeric. But what I loved about in here was the koi pond. And let me tell y'all, these were some big kois in there. They were very big. I'm trying to zoom in because I don't know if they look big to you, but they were, to me, they were huge. So this is the koi pond. It was really nice and really relaxing. So I'm just continuing along the path of how the koi pond was set up. You had a lot of nice flowers that were along the way and the different koi, but I'm telling you, the water features that they had inside here, they were really relaxing. I think I sat down for like a few minutes just to hear like the running water. And I'm panning up because these are all different type of orchids, and this is one plant that I can't grow, and they just make it seem so easy. Within the same area, they had a bonsai room, and so you could just look at the different types of plants that they have did the bonsai form to. I thought it was neat with this rosemary here, how they've shaped it and trained it to make it form like this, and they were just so many different plants. I think the cypress was one. Yep, this is the cypress right here. But it's just amazing to see how you can form a normal plant that we may see every day into a bonsai shape. Right here is our cactus room, and let me tell you, it got real hot real quick in this room, but you can see the long line of different cactuses right here. I'm just trying to pan on some that are different. Like I think this was like a Medusa cactus here, but there's so many different varieties of cactus besides the ones that we see in the regular stores. So this was a whole room all of different familiar and odd cactuses. So next, this is I think this is house 3 or the next section, but this I think was my favorite of the whole tour of the botanical gardens. This is the medicinal garden, and it was amazing to see some of the more everyday different herbs and fruits that we're used to, but it was also good to see things that we haven't seen before. And they had the plants labeled, and they also had a brief history about it, the medicinal qualities of it. So I just thought that this was really cool. Like some of the things that you don't think about has some type of medicinal form to it. So I'm just gonna pan around and let you see some of the different plants that were included in this medicinal garden. So black pepper is something we use on a daily basis, most of all with salt and pepper. So I had to get this because this is the first time I've ever actually seen a black pepper plant. It reminds me of a house plant, and I guess it's not flowering, but it was just cool to see that this is an actual black pepper plant and this is where it comes from. Like, I love seeing where different things come from, how the plant looks. So here you have it. This is how a black pepper plant looks. So this is also a garden where you can involve the entire family. You can bring the kids along. They have this family garden here that goes over different plants that are in here, and there are also different play stations and play areas for the kids. So it's something to do for everyone. Now, I thought this scented geranium area was really interesting. The biggest scents that I smelled were the citronella. It did say it had chocolate mint in here, but I didn't smell any because I am looking for like a chocolate scented geranium, and I want to say an apple scented geranium, but it was nice to be able to rub the leaves and to actually have the different smells. So you were also able to walk outside of the family garden, and they had some very nice features out there also, but it was just really a fun place to see the different plants and see different families playing in the garden. And this right here is why people say not to grow mint like in an area. Now for this it worked because I think they wanted to use it as a hedge, but can you see how the mint has absolutely taken over this area? So this right here is why I grow mint in containers, because if you let it go, it will definitely take over. But I just like to see how they have it kind of cut even, and I think like I said, they were trying to make it into like a mint hedge. Okay, so I told you earlier that an orchid is one of the hardest things for me to grow. I do have an orchid, it just has not flowered in months, but they have this actually hanging and the roots are all growing and they just make it look so easy. So I'm definitely gonna continue with my orchids. And this plant right here, I had one of these at work. I've always called it a lipstick plant, and when I moved like down to the second floor and put it in a new area, it totally died on me. So I was excited to see that they are growing this plant, and they call it a lipstick plant because if you look at some of the blooms, like when they are first opening, it kind of looks like the tube of a lipstick. So that's why they call it a lipstick plant, but it was really a fun plant to grow. Okay, so next up is this plant. I looked all over for the name of it. I don't know, but I'm zooming in because what I like about it is like the ombre coloring of the blooms. It was really pretty and very different. Okay, so this area right here is the Florida Everglades house, and it got really humid, really hot, and really fast. And this right here is what grows in our area, Southeast Georgia, from the Spanish moss. And it was so funny because the guy at the front desk was like, hey, we got a magnolia tree. And I was like, yeah, we got one in our yard too. And I think of it as the trash tree, but they didn't have too many leaves down there. But all the plants that you see, it was nice to see that they dedicated a room, you know, kind of to the south. And so all the plants that they have growing, I am very familiar with. And it was just amazing to me to see how they kept this room very humid. I know they had to use lights and different things like that, but this really felt like I was back at home in Georgia in the South with just the humidity and all of that stuff. So after I got done with all the different houses in the inside, I just had to go outside again because I am telling y'all, this is so much inspiration, so much beauty. It gave me so many ideas, and I am telling y'all, this has made me step my whole gardening goal and what I picture in my own garden and having. It's just the beauty of the flowers and just how they laid everything out and how they put everything together. Me personally, I just think they are so beautiful to me, like everything that you see here. I would love to have more trees, but For my garden, I don't think that is possible because we have like a row of trees in the back, but just the different flowers and the mass planting that they do, I definitely have so many ideas that I want to try. So if you want to talk pollinators, I don't know if you can see it with this video, but with this mass planting of bee balm, there was so many pollinators around this area. And they also had a vegetable garden in the back that I didn't film because I don't think I was supposed to go back there, because I think they have classes where they kind of cook from the garden. But this area also right here has so many pollinators. As you can see, they have salvia. They also had roses, and there was someone out here at the time that was really tending to this bed. But just look at all the buds and all the flowers on these roses. They were so pretty and they smelled really, really good. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you're not a subscriber, we will absolutely love to have you as a subscriber. So make sure that you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That way I know what content to continue to bring you all. And I hope that you share this video with your family and your friends. Again, thank you so much for watching. And until the next video, bye-bye.